When pets are being discussed, there's always two that are always commonly talked about. Dogs and cats. I like dogs, they're so energetic, which makes them so much more fun. Dogs are so loyal to you and very trustworthy. Dogs make such a mess, but I still love treating them like babies. Me and my dog really love sharing the same food together. My dog makes my life so much more interesting. I like cats. No, that's it. I like cats. Now, I know that might sound bad, but I've grown up around cats my entire life. And while that does make me a lot more biased, I just can't help but still love these furballs. Now, before I continue with anything, I still like dogs, okay? Don't get the wrong idea that I hate them or I'll punt them across the yard or something. No. Dogs are nice and fun, but to me, cats are a lot better to take care of and a lot more independent. And they're so soft, oh my gosh. Cats have to be some of the most interesting critters to ever walk this earth. Not only are they agile as freak, not only can they fall off buildings and survive, not only are they some of the most quickest and sometimes even intelligent creatures on earth, and not only can they defend themselves whenever they're in a pinch, but they're also so cute. And they also come in different sizes, which is great if you want something. Yeah, actually, never mind. Okay, on a side note, don't you think it's a little crazy that we own one of these things as like pets and stuff, right? But then you look at the other cats in the family, and then oh my gosh, what are these monsters? Some of these things are some of the most powerful animals on the planet in some way or another. I mean, cheetahs alone can run really fast. Lions are probably one of the most feared? I don't really know, but they're pretty good predators, I'll say. And then tigers are really stealthy. Or is it panthers? I don't know. It might be both. And we just have this one right here. Just kind of in our house. That's pretty neat, I think. And then there are like crazy people who own bobcat. No, I don't think I'd want to own Bob, but I think what's here is the next best thing. I used to have a cat, and she was something else. One day we were just chilling outside doing who knows what. I really don't remember this. I was 3 at the time. So everything I'm saying is just kind of what my parents told me. Anyways, we were playing in the yard, and then all of a sudden, this black cat pulls up to us. Lost and just kind of, I don't know, meowing? Is this really what happened? Yeah, go with it. Anyways, this cat just pulls up to the yard and just starts treating us like she's known us forever now. And so we start petting her, feeding her, and then she goes away at night, and I think that was just the last that my parents thought they'd see her. Then the next day, they just... Are you kidding me? This cat came back. The cat came back! Can you believe that? Eventually, we just decided to keep the cat. Definitely with my mom's consent, trust me. And then after legally binding contracts, after that she became one of the most spoiled cats on the planet. Constant food, constant petting. Not on the stomach though, that gives you the death sentence. But with that being said, she wasn't always lazy. She did go hunting out in the neighborhood at night. Sometimes in the day too, but mostly at night. We'd let her out at night, and then later in the morning she'd come back to us ready to sleep. I don't really know what she did. And even sometimes she'd come back with presents. Man, I sure do love the classic gift of dead rabbit and dead bird. And sometimes she'd just give us to and sometimes she'd just give it to us alive. Yeah, I really don't know what she was thinking. I think that she thought that we were just gonna kill and then eat it. I really don't know. I do remember this particular time. We were coming back from school, and as we were pulling into the garage, she comes up to us with a rabbit in her mouth. Oh, great. Another one to add to the pile. That's awesome. And then the rabbit starts moving. What? What are you doing? My mom slapped the rabbit out of the mouth, and the rabbit just took off. The cat, she just decided to chase after it. And I don't think that rabbit survived, I'm gonna be honest. But this isn't the last time. No. The last time she brought something alive was, there's only 2 times, but she brought us a mouse. Which, first off, we had a mouse in our house? Bro, that sounds like some Dr. Seuss kind of stuff. I really don't know what my dad did, but he was not happy with there being a rat in the house. Or a mouse, I really don't know. Something else that my cat would do that my dad wasn't exactly a fan of was peeing or pooping on the rug. I'm taking a big gander as to why he wouldn't like that. The thing is that, like, whenever she knows that my dad sees it, she knows that she's in trouble. But even with that, we still loved our kitty, which is kind of unfortunate to say because, I mean, earlier this year she did pass, which, I mean, I'm fine with it now, but it's still kind of sad to see. It's kind of like seeing a friend go, you know? But I'm not gonna worry too much about it. She's probably eating mice in cat heaven right now. She was probably the best cat I've ever been around in my entire life, and I'm not exaggerating. That isn't to say that I haven't been around other cats. My great-grandmother had this cat named Pumpkin. He was a smaller cat, not really a kitten, just smaller, and he was orange. I don't know why she named him Pumpkin. That's such an out-of-place name. Me personally, I would have named her something like the Demon Core or Ted, but that's just me, even though my opinion is right. Anyways, I don't really remember too much about Pumpkin. I do remember seeing him when I was 4, or at least that's my first conscious memory of seeing Pumpkin. But that's kind of it. He didn't really do anything interesting. All I remember is that one day he just disappeared and never returned. So either he found someone better or he got eaten. So RIP to Pumpkin, you will be missed, I think. One of my other grandmas had a cat, and he was just like one of the most weird cats ever. And I honestly don't know if that has to do with him being a rescue. I mean, it might be, so I do kind of feel bad for like all the making fun of him we've done. He was a really skinny cat, kind of brown, and he really liked chasing chipmunks. But other than that, he's just a really weird cat. I mean, one time he had a blade of grass sticking out of his butt. How did a blade of grass stick out of his butt? I don't know. I'm not judging what he eats. I mean, I love myself some good, weird food every once in a while. Also, he was just one of the most all bark, no bite cats of all time. Sometimes he'd just meow and hiss at me or my dad. Specifically my dad. My mom hasn't said anything about it. And once we approach, he just takes off running. And it doesn't really help his case that he was declawed. He was quite a silly cat, but unfortunately, he did pass away too. Although, thankfully, he went out peacefully. And so did all the cats I know basically went out peacefully. Hold the Pumpkin. And of course, my grandma has another cat right now. And she's precious. She's like a little potato. She does shed a lot though. My brother has pet her for 10 minutes straight, and then after he got off, the couch is literally just with the inside of a vacuum. It is actually like, I don't know if I should be impressed or disgusted, but oh my, I've never seen a cat shed this much. But she's still precious. Everyone loves her, especially my dad. He really likes to pet her, but it does make sense why he does like her. I mean, he likes all cats in general. But I think that's mostly just because he grew up around a ton of cats when he was younger. Sometimes he has some stories, but I'm only going to talk about one story from my dad. And trust me, it's not exactly great. So my dad had 2 cats, and they decided to mate and have a bunch of cats. Is it a litter of cats? A gaggle of cats? A flock of cats? A dealership of cats? I don't know. Anyways, so when it came time to move, my grandfather decided it would be a great idea to just put the cats in the back of the truck. Why he did this? I don't know. I never asked. And honestly, my dad doesn't know either. So if that doesn't tell you anything, then I don't know what will. So as they were riding off to the house, my dad had to keep watch on the cats. And so he looked out the window, and the cats were jumping out of the bed! And for some reason, they didn't stop. Oh my gosh. Every time my dad tells this story, he talks about it like he's having some Vietnam flashbacks. And I honestly don't blame him. Because what do you do in this situation? You're just watching a bunch of cats just jump off the bed of the truck. What is the appropriate response to that? Besides stopping and getting out and like trying to blind the cats. I'm honestly really glad that I've never had this experience. My brother's glad about it too, and so is my mom. I think my mom has kind of an opposite experience about it. So my mom also had a cat. My whole family has cats. Maybe that's why I like cats so much. Maybe it's just a genetic thing. That'd be kind of funny if it was. My mom had a cat because it had a mice problem. But once all the mice were taken care of, the cat decided to start getting lazy. And so my grandma decided that they didn't need it anymore. So my grandpa had to get on his motorcycle, take the cat, and just leave it somewhere. My grandpa left the cat and decided to go back to the house. He was just driving, and then he finally gets back to the house. And who does he find waiting there for him? My grandma, my mom, and the cat! The cat has made its way back to the house before my grandpa made it back. Dang, if I got beat by a cat, I'd low-key just hang up my hat and just never motorcycle ever again. And before you ask, yes, they did decide to keep the cat until the cat passed. You know, that kind of just makes me think about like how smart cats are. And that's honestly the tip of the iceberg for these fluffy creatures. I mean, they're honestly some of the best pets you could ever ask for. And that just kind of upsets me because a lot of people don't even give them the time of day. Now, I know that preferences exist. And I'm honestly glad that preferences exist. If people only liked cats, then there wouldn't be anything for dogs, fishes, and other things. But also, cats are so much more than people give them credit for. They might not be as energetic or as active as dogs, but cats are still loving pets. And having grown up beside amazing and albeit strange cats, I'm really glad I did. They're some of the best pets I've ever seen. And even though it's kind of sad to think about my cat in her last few days, she was just really loving and caring. I made this video not to just talk about cats, but also like, please give them a chance. They're some of the greatest pets that you could ever ask for. So if you're in the area and you want to try your hand at having a fluffy companion right by your side just to hang out, then go for it. Now if you're allergic, then maybe just stick with dogs.